Hello, my name's Ken, and I'm a Newcastle United supporter, and this is my scrapbook. Today, we're going to look at a preview of Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup against Bradford City in the third round. On my channel, I put together a Newcastle United scrapbook full of stories, match reports, stats, and plenty of my own thoughts. It's all about the sharing the highs and the lows and everything else in between as a Toon fan. Join me, shall you? So who cannot remember? The League Cup is a great competition that we've done well in over the last 2 or 3 years. Won at Wembley. Eddie's really in the parade taken to it, and we obviously went to the final back in 23 and lost the pride that it brought to all of us as supporters. March this year, we had waited a long time at Wembley, and we listened to the Fairs Cup on the radio back in '69. The League Cup is a the mick was taken out of me when we lost to Hereford in the over the last FA Cup 2 or 3 years. Round. Eddie's really taken I wasn't to living in Newcastle at the time. Obviously went to the final back in 23. We went on to win in the 70s, but last the Anglo-Italian Cup. March this year we back at Wembley Cup. And we beat there with that other European thing that we won. The League Cup is a competition that we've done well in over the last manager 2 or 3 years. So this was a great day. Really, let's see if we can repeat it this season. Obviously went to the final Newcastle back in 23. So our opponents on Wednesday evening is Bradford City, the new League One leaders as of the weekend, having grabbed the top spot, following an impressive win down at Cardiff. Graham Alexander is the manager, and he's had a good start to his career with the Bantams. They played a couple of local Yorkshire derbies, Huddersfield away, and beat them. So they've had some delighted. They're delighted with their recent performances. So it's going to be great. Sellout crowd again. That's what Graham is expecting, and most likely it will be. So if you know anything about my players, he said, we are going to go up there and compete and give it our best shot. That's all we can ask for. These moments don't come along very often, he said. So they've already beaten a couple of championship clubs in Blackburn and Stoke to get through to the third round. But he did say facing a Champions League opposition in their own backyard will be another level. Apparently they're a massive 20-1 to win in 90 minutes with one of the bookmakers. So the whole season is going to be a test, and he's looking forward to this. It's their cup final, isn't it, basically? There's been a few players that have played for both clubs. Andy O'Brien is the most famous one, obviously, having scored against the Mackhams. And then you had Graham Oates, who's defender. Peter Jackson, who played for both clubs and then went on, had a managerial career over the last few years and has been successful. And then John Hendry, who's the pundit these days, let's say. So Eddie held his pre-match press conference on Tuesday, as I record this, and he had quite a few things to say, so we have a little bit to go through here. And he basically said we're going to embrace every competition that we're in. When he was asked, would he take the game seriously? I always enjoy these games, and we're desperate to do well again, he said. The match is what we're here for. We've done well in the EFL Cup, Carabao Cup over the last few years, and he thinks he's got a strong squad, so he's going into this match confident. He was asked about a number of things in the press conference. One of them was how is Johan Visser, and will he return after the international break? Eddie is hopeful. He's receiving treatment, basically. There's no operation that's actually needed, surgery on his knee. And they're looking at the other side of the international break, which doesn't mean he's going to be back straight after the international break, if I read between the lines. And the international break takes place between Forest on the 5th of October and away to Brighton on the 18th of October. So we're probably talking about the last week of October if we get lucky. If he comes back, no doubt he's going to need some time to get back up to speed. And Eddie normally doesn't bring people straight back in, even though they've done a week's training. Eddie said that the Carabao Cup was some of his strongest memories of success over the years. So that obviously includes the Bournemouth promotions as well. He wants to go far in this cup. The experiences that we've been through in the competition, and not just the last 2 seasons, were memorable, to say the least, he said. They are some of my strongest memories of success. The semi-finals, the whole experience of the competition, I think it's a great one. And he thought this because you're going to go into it early in the season as well. There's been a sort of freshness to it. But we are up against tough opponents, he went on to add. They are doing very well in their league, and they are on a strong winning run. They've beaten 2 championship teams, and credit must go to Graham Alexandra. There will be an element of rotation for this match, he went on to add. And the rotation against Bradford, the guys will have played 3 games last week, so he's going to have to look in, give a rest, but we want to pick a strong team and we want to progress as far as we can and get the balance right. In answer to one question, he said it is nice to be coming into this year's competition as the holders. It's got a nice feel about it. It's something that we acknowledge and we want to respect that by trying to do our best and to go on another good run. As we found last year, the early rounds are very difficult. We played Wimbledon and it was a very difficult game, a 1-0 win. And it was the same 2 years before. We squeezed through against Tranmere. They're tough games, he added. We fully respect every opponent, and these early rounds are so important that you just try and find a way to get through. Eddie's always respectful to the opponents and to the opponent managers and players and staff. He never has a bad word to say about them. It means he's not causing any trouble or giving any additional energy to the opponents when they come into the dressing room. They don't have something on the wall that says, "Hey ho, Eddie thinks we're crap." Well, I don't think Bradford are that either. I think they're a decent outfit and they're having a good season in what League One is a tough division to play in. The next question kind of got me angry. Eddie was asked about comparing Nick with Alexander Isak, and basically Eddie did what Eddie normally does. He said, I don't think there's any comparison. Nobody can be compared really to Alex, and shouldn't be. They play a slightly different. They play a different type of position and a different type of game. Every player is unique, he said, in their own right, and Nick is certainly that. He thought that Nick had a decent game against Bournemouth. He thought some of his link-up play and build-up was really good. It was a focal point in the game, which enabled Newcastle to get higher up the pitch. And he thought his contributed in a number of ways. As a team, we didn't function particularly well in the attacking half. There's no denying that. We weren't creating chances for him, and to a degree, as a centre forward, you are reliant on that service, and we didn't provide him with enough. The team has to take responsibility for that, and we have to take responsibility for that as staff. As I said a second ago, I see no reason why we won't score goals. So Eddie's looking back in with some emotion to the Bournemouth match and taking responsibility. So we'll see where we end up at the end of Wednesday night against Bradford, because I think the team's going to be. Eddie's used these phrases in the last couple of his press conferences: evolution, and in an ideal world, and forming new partnerships, and that he's excited about the team, and he believes we have a very solid foundation to build upon. But he definitely is seeing that with Isak going, that change has to come, and with change comes new issues and new challenges to overcome. So in its ideal world, you'd have a full 6-week pre-season with everyone, and therefore you can form the partnerships and the relationships that you require at the start of the season. I don't think over the years we've ever had that. We've always had players, if they're coming in late on transfers, coming in and players going out. So not a lot's changed there. I don't think it will over time. I don't think we're in a position to buy players in the first week of any transfer window. Chelsea have done it relatively successful, but they're still buying. Liverpool had to wait for Isak. So again, it's the same for most teams. But he is excited about the team that could be or can be. He sees a lot on the training ground that we don't see. He's generating and learning new formulas to try and to see if they work. But he believes the foundation is there and it's strong. We're just missing that X factor in the ability to actually create more chances. But he believes that will come. One of the key takeaways I had from his press conference was that he believes everybody needs to chip in and score goals, and historically we've done that. Our defenders last season were regular goal scorers from set pieces and open play, but we can't be reliant on one department. Certainly the creativity of the team has been very strong for us, and our fullbacks have been some of the best attackers in recent seasons, and that has to be the case again. So I know it's frustrating that we've not scored many goals so far, because we were spoilt last season with the number of goals and the success we had, especially at home. On the road, it wasn't. It was mixed, as you know. But we got some exciting times coming, folks. Stick with the team. Stay off the social media rubbish about being negative all the time. I can remember when people were getting at Bobby Robson towards the end of his time at Newcastle. We were 4th in the league at the time. Look what happened afterwards. So in closing his press conference, he praised the Bradford City manager again, Graham Alexander. He's had, he said, look, he's had over 500 games under his belt. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well. They're very well organised, as are both our teams are, and they have clear strengths. They're playing with confidence, and they are physically a very good team. Anyone who is winning games regularly and top of their league will be a threat, so we will pick a strong team. So Eddie said that he'd pick a strong team, and this is my attempt to put a team together. It's never easy, because you really don't know who's coming in and who's going to be rested and who's not even going to be in the matchday squad. Obviously, it's time to give Ramsdale a match, and give Pope a rest and put him back on the bench. They're not in defence. I still think we're going to be strong. I think it'll be Trippier. I'd like to see Botman and Chow continue to play, and then Tino Livramento or Lewis Hall is the other fullback. Midfield, I'd like to see Bruno I know he was rested for Bournemouth, so I can imagine that he will play. I think Miley will probably get another game, and then I probably think we're still going to see Willock. For things I've read, there's still some doubt over Big Joe Linton in as far as fitness is concerned. He's obviously carrying some little niggle or knock, but don't really know what yet. And up front, I think we'll start with Murphy. I think Asula will start, and I think Gordon will get a game. He's had enough rest given that his suspension was over 3 matches. And on the bench, you could name a bunch of people. Tonali, Big Joe, Dan Burn, Stuart Hall, Lewis Hall, or Tino Livramento, Big Nick, our German centre forward, and then Harvey Barnes. I'm going to be completely wrong with this team, as most of us will be. So I'll be really interested to see which way Eddie goes on the evening. As you know by now, if you've followed my other predictions, I get them wrong. So I'm going for a 3-1 win to Newcastle against Bradford City in the Cup. I can see us winning, even if we change the team again. How many youngsters like Neve get a chance? I just got no idea of predicting that. Either way, it's a win for the Toon. Bradford's defence is not as solid as it looks. They've scored 17 goals in the league and let in 11. So there's plenty of opportunity there if we play our game and play to our strengths. Thank you for watching my video and looking at my scrapbook for the League Cup match against Bradford City on Wednesday evening. Appreciate that you watched, and I hope you like it. And let's see what happens. And I'll be back with another scrapbook outlining in detail how we got on. How are the lads?